Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and as you can see, today's video is going to be a bit different than usual because this video is actually going to be the start of a new Space Engineer survival series that I've been thinking about doing for the past couple weeks here. So the whole point of this survival series is I am trying to survive in empty space with no planets or trading posts, nothing, just empty space and a few asteroids, basically. So yeah, that is the whole survival thing here. You can see that there are no planets. It's just me and my spaceship, or the starting space pod behind me. And to make things a bit more difficult, I also lowered the spawn rate of asteroids just to make it a bit harder and more exciting for this series. And also I am using a few mods here. If I just turn on my HUD here, you can see that I'm using the colorful HUD mod and colorful items mod. I'm also using a few other mods, and they're more just there to make my life a bit easier. So yeah, the mods I'm using aren't like impacting the game a whole lot. They're just there to make my life a bit easier. And yeah, so let's just get into today's video here. So if we just quickly go switch to our first person view and kind of just look at our surroundings here. So I do actually have a priority list of things that I want to find and build. So the priority thing that I want to find is ice, because without ice you don't get hydrogen or oxygen, or in our case even power, because we do have a hydrogen engine on here to produce power, but if we have no ice then we can't produce power. Now we do have a couple batteries on here which I think are going to last about 10 days last time I looked, or 2 days now. Oh, that's even worse now. So we gotta find some ways to cut back on our power usage to make that last longer. Or like I said, find a ton of ice, gather a ton of ice, and charge the batteries using the hydrogen engine. And the main things I want to build on the little starter pod here is a basic assembler. That's the first thing I want to get built, is the basic assembler, so we can assemble, well, basic things. And then I want to add a basic refinery if I can, so we can refine stuff like iron and cobalt, kind of the basic materials if we find them. And the other thing I want to add are a few solar panels to make some like passive energy, because like I said, we need to charge up those batteries. So I think the first things that I'm going to try and get built is the solar panels and the basic assembler here. Alright guys, so I think the first thing we need to try and do is go to an asteroid and find some ice. So if we just hop into the driver's seat here, we can go kind of look around, and I think this asteroid cluster over here looks pretty promising, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. And actually, you know what, to save on power, if I just go into the control panel here and search up thrusters, and if I just take both backwards thrusters here, put them in a group and call it just back thrust, just put it in a group like that, and then just put it here on my hotbar, turn them on and off. If we turn off our backwards thrusters here and we just go forward a little bit, so now our ship isn't going to be braking, so we can actually save a bit of battery like that, which is really helpful. And actually, real quickly, what is in the cargo container here? So an oxygen bottle and hydrogen bottle. I also start with an oxygen and hydrogen bottle in there, which is helpful. And a rifle and some ammo, it looks like. And we also have a data pad, which isn't going to be useful because there are no trading stations. It's just an empty world, like I said earlier. And it seems like we have about 1,000 ice and the basic tools, and that's about all we have as of right now. It also looks like there are space pirates, so we are going to have to look out for those too. But for right now, let's just get to the asteroid and look for primarily ice, but really anything at this point. Alright, I just parked beside the asteroid here, and actually, since we don't have a beacon on the respawn ship, I am actually just going to go into here and create a quick GPS marker, just saying spawn ship, just to make sure we don't lose it. So there you go. And yeah, so now let's go and look around this asteroid and see if there's anything interesting on it. Alright, so looks like we have a bit of magnesium on this asteroid. So if we just go down into here and look for the magnesium, oh, it's just right here. So magnesium is going to be not quite as useful to me this early on, as we can't really refine it or do anything with it. So I'll keep it in mind. I'll mark it down and move on. Like I said, the priority here is ice. So yeah, I'll keep looking around this asteroid to see if there's anything else on here. Oh, it also looks like there's an unknown signal. I just noticed that. Not really sure how long it's been there for. But you know what? These unknown signals are going to be super useful because we can grind them down for parts so we don't have to waste power crafting stuff, which is going to be super useful. And also, they tend to have storage bins with useful items in them. So these unknown signals are actually going to turn really useful here early on. Alright, I see the unknown signal out, just crashed into it there. Alright, so let's see what's in the unknown signal here. Let's see if we can just get into the... Here we go. So, oh, it looks like there's a grinder in there, like a really nice grinder. So if we just quickly just actually stop it from moving. So we have a Mark 1 grinder now, which is... I'm going to be honest, not all that useful. I would much prefer a Mark 1 drill or even welder. There we go, so we got all the stuff inside there. And now there's usually a button or something on here too. Alright, so there's a button on here. Let's see if we can press it. Alright, and we got badger gloves. Alright, so now what we can do now is actually grind this down for parts. Alright, just finished grinding down the unknown signal there. So if we look in our inventory, we collected a fair bit of everything. It looks like we got a ton of steel plates, which is going to be useful. And the Mark 1 grinder there, which is also going to be kind of useful. But like I said, it would be even more useful if I had a Mark 1 hand drill or welder. But we got to work with what we're given. And we were given some pretty good stuff, actually. So now if we go look at our signals here, we can try and find our asteroid where our stuff is. That would be a real shame if we lost that. Then we would really be screwed. But luckily we didn't. It's over there. It's all marked down and everything. So I'm just going to head back there and get back to the spawn ship and store all this stuff. Alright, so that now we're back at the respawn ship here, we can actually store some of this stuff here. So it looks like we have a couple med kits and power kits. Actually, these power kits are going to come in really handy. If the ship runs out of power, these power kits can actually keep our suit power going. So those are going to be really useful. Where like the entire ship is dead and I need to like figure out how to get power, but my suit's running out of power kind of thing. It would be useful in that kind of situation. But anyway, actually, you know what I can use some of these parts for is if we go into the G menu here, you can see that there are some things that are locked here in the progression thing. You can see. So what I want to do is try and see like what I can unlock easily. Like for example, the landing gear, like the small grid landing gear is super easy to build. So all I need to do is just build up a small grid landing gear and then grind it down back for the parts, and then I'll unlock all this stuff, which is going to be super useful. And it looks like the rest of the stuff here is going to involve a few things, but it doesn't look all that difficult. So I think that's actually the first thing I'm going to do is build up a small grid landing gear, and it shouldn't be that expensive. So if we just go to 9 here, yeah, it's just 1 steel plate, 1 motor, 2 construction components, and another steel plate. So all this, and I should be able to build a small grid landing gear, just temporarily, of course, just to unlock the stuff. Alright, so if we take our landing gear here and just kind of place it, unable to place landing gear. I don't have the material. We have the materials. Okay, there we go. Now we can place landing gear. Alright, so now if we just go to here, weld it up, and then grind it down. You see how it says unlock new parts? Or unlock new things? So if we go to here and go to progression, and then scroll down to landing gear. So I think I've unlocked all of this, so if I search up seat now, in blocks, yeah, there you go, so I've unlocked all that stuff. Which isn't that useful as of right now, but there are other things here that are useful, like cockpits and stuff that might come in useful later on. Other things here too are the thrusters and the Gatling gun too. If the pirates ever decide to wise up and attack us, we are going to need Gatling guns to defend ourselves. It seems like if I want to build any like hydrogen engines or hydrogen based stuff, I'm going to have to build an O2H2 generator, which actually I don't think this has. Is this an O2H2 generator? Oh, so it does have an O2. I'm kind of dumb. Well, that's alright. I'm a Canadian idiot. Anyway, we are about to run out of power too. Alright, since now that we've, done all that, unlocked the landing gear stuff, we can just put all that away. And actually, I think I'm going to make the basic assembler now a bit of a priority. So what I'm going to do is actually mine up a ton of stone, get it refined in the survival kit, and see if I can craft a basic assembler with that or not. Which I should be able to, so if I just go like around this way and just go into production, I should be able to make a basic assembler with this stuff. It seems like all the basic stuff that we'll need. We could even make a solar panel, which would be extremely useful too. It says we still have 2 days of power left, which is good. Another thing we can do actually to help conserve power, if I can get out of the... now I'm stuck. Alright, managed to get unstuck, but I had to grind off a window for that one, which seems kind of excessive, but yeah, you get really stuck in this corner here, which is kind of annoying, but now we're missing a window in the corner there. But it's fine, it's not like it was doing anything anyway, because we are just going to go over here and turn that off because it was using 100 kilowatts. So that should save us on a bit of power. You see, look at how much power that saved us. It went from 2 days to 10 days, and all we did was turn off the air vent. So that was a smart move there. So now we have 10 days of power rather than 2. And yeah, alright, so you know what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to see you back when I am done mining up some stone. Alright here, guys, so I've collected a bit of stone here, and as you can see, I'm getting it refined into materials here. If I just go into here, go into production, you can see I've put in some, gravel? Or ingots. So you can see here, and it's making a ton of iron and nickel and silicone. All the necessary stuff to make all the basic stuff that we need. So with this, I am going to make a basic assembler so we can assemble more things. And then with that, I also want to get a basic refinery so it's easier to refine stuff like stone. And so we can also refine stuff like cobalt and iron just to make our lives a bit easier. Alright, so just looking at the basic assembler here, it looks like it uses a total of 80 steel plates, 40 construction components, 10 motors, 4 displays, and 80 computers. So that sounds a bit expensive, actually. If we just go into here, how many steel plates do we have? We have 28 steel plates. Now we need to find a place to actually put the basic assembler. So I could put it on top of here, but I think the basic refinery would actually go better over there. So what I'm thinking is if this is a conveyor junction, I can just weld the top of this off. And then we have a bit of a port there where I can just add the basic assembler. Just got to make sure I orient it the right way, otherwise it won't be connected properly. So you can see the thing there, just want to make sure it's facing the bottom like that. And so now we can go ahead and weld that up. And we can also get the computer and construction components we have too to help weld it up further, we're also going to need 10 motors, which I think we do have a couple motors in here. There we go. So if we just get those motors. So you can see here with that unknown signal we found earlier on, we now have gotten ourselves a step closer to getting the basic assembler without wasting any materials. Alright, so what else are we going to need now exactly to build up the basic assembler? Alright, so it looks like we are going to need a few things. So if we just go into production, we can put all that stuff into production. So I'll actually see you guys back to when I have that stuff in production. Alright here guys, so I just got all that stuff into production, and it looks like we do have enough materials to craft all the remaining resources we are going to need, which is great. That means I don't have to do any more mining, or I will have to do mining for other things, but I don't have to go back and do more for the basic assembler, which is always nice. So if we just go into the bottom of here, we can actually collect all of this and then go ahead and weld it up here. Alright, looks like that's as much as it's gonna allow us to do without the other materials, which is fine. And yeah, you know what guys, I will see you guys back when I have all the materials for the assembler. Alright guys, so the rest of the materials for the basic assembler has been all crafted now. And while I was waiting for that to be crafted, I also mined up a bit of stone to be refined. So we have more stone being refined now. You could probably hear the survival kit working down there. So now if we just go to the basic assembler here, we should be all good for everything, except the computers it looks like, which is odd. I thought I crafted enough computers. Oh, I see what the problem is. So if we just go to here and... Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to wait a bit now for the computers. Alright guys, so it seems like the computers are all crafted now. And while I was waiting for that to be crafted, I got more stone. So we should be pretty good on materials here for the next little while. And it looks like our ice is running down too, which isn't good. Alright, so now if we just go to the top of here, and it's all crafted now, which is good, and we unlock new blocks with that too. So if we just go into here, we can see what we actually unlocked. It looks like we unlocked a few things here, which is always good. Alright, with the basic assembler done now, I think my next priority would be to get either a basic refinery going or get some more like power generation going. And if we take a look at our current power reserves, it looks like we only have 1 day of power left with the survival kit running, which is not good at all. So I think what I should do next is build up a couple of solar panels, which shouldn't be too difficult if we just go and look what solar panels actually require. They don't require a whole lot, so if I actually just go into here and get a couple of steel plates built up, we can actually just go ahead and find somewhere to place a couple of solar panels. And actually, I think placing them right here on the basic assembler is going to work out pretty good. Just place them like that, and then just have them point towards the sun at all times, and it should charge up the battery really nicely. So now what we got to do now is just craft all the needed materials for 2 solar panels. And actually, for the girders there, we did grind down one of the windows there, which means I should have enough materials to just have enough girders for 1 solar panel, which is always good. But now for the rest of it, I think is going to have to be crafted. So what are we going to need? Well, it looks pretty straightforward. Just steel plates, construction components, a few computers. Looks like we are going to need a lot of solar cells, but that shouldn't be too big a problem. So yeah, you know what guys, I am going to see you back when I get both of these solar panels constructed. Alright guys, quick update. So it looks like with the basic assembler running, we only have 19 hours of power left, which is not good at all, which makes these solar panels actually a lot more of a priority than I originally thought. So now if we go to here, I think we should have everything fully crafted and ready to go to craft one of them. And let's see if this will help charge up the battery. So if we just go into here and control panel, go all the way to the top, it says fully recharged in, stabilized at 3 hours. So it should be fully recharged in 3 hours. It looks like it's stabilized at 3 hours, which is good. And that's with the one solar panel too. If we get the other one going here now, it should be good enough to where I shouldn't have to worry about power for a little bit. Alright, now with the second solar panel, how good is our power? Alright, it looks like it says fully recharged in 1 hour, which is pretty good. That's actually really good. So if we go into our little control seat here, we can see that, yeah, power isn't even an issue anymore. It's still an issue, but it's less of an issue now, which is great. All we need to do is just keep rotating the respawn ship in the direction of the sun, just like that, to make sure it has maximum exposure. So it should be all good and taken care of now. Yeah, we don't have to worry about power, which is great. And now, since we don't have to, since our power issues have been pretty much solved, I think I want to get a basic refinery built up here now. So what is involved with a basic refinery? Looks like 120 steel plates, which is a lot of steel plates. That's gonna take up a lot of resources, actually, just with that 120 steel plates. Well, alright then, I guess that's just what we're gonna have to do. I could probably go, if I was desperate enough, I could go around the ship and, you know, grind off like this ramp here for, well, that's interior plates, but like I could grind this off for, what is that, 6 steel plates or whatever, you know, 12 steel plates. So I could go around and grind off all the non-essential parts of the respawn ship, but I really don't want to do that because I actually want to kind of keep the look of it, if that makes sense. Plus I might have uses for these parts later on. Yeah, I kind of want to keep that going. Besides, I think we have enough kind of materials to craft everything, it looks like. We'll find out very shortly here if we go into here. Ooh, we barely just have enough. It looks like just barely enough. Alright, so now with everything else we're going to have to craft. Are we going to have enough? We are just barely not going to have enough. So it looks like I am going to have to go back and do some more mining. So you know what, guys? I will see you guys back when I have all the materials for the basic refinery. Alright, guys, so it looks like I think I have everything I need to build up the basic refinery here. Looks like it. So if I just go to here, and then actually I want to rotate it down like that, and then if I just go to here, yeah, it looks like I got everything. Alright, and just like that there, guys, we have ourselves a basic refinery. And there you go, it's already at work refining the stone I have in the cargo container. So now we don't need the survival kit to do any of our refining anymore. We can just go ahead and do that, which is great. Alright, guys, so now that we have the basic refinery here, I think our next priority would be to find some ice, because if we go look at our ice here, it is slowly going down. Now it isn't going down a whole lot, and we don't have to be too worried about it, but still, I want to find some ice before we do run out. So I think that's the next thing we are going to try and do, is go look for ice. And actually, do I have an ore detector? Yes, I can make an ore detector. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go to here and see how much a large grid ore detector is going to cost me, because I'm going to put that right in front here, or on top of here, so it'll help me find resources faster. And it looks like it won't cost us a whole lot either, because if we just go into here, we do have some resources here. I think we have enough to craft it. It doesn't look like it's gonna take all that many resources. And yeah, so you know what, guys? I am going to work on getting us an ore detector here to help us look for some ice in the other asteroids. So yeah, I'll update you when I either have the ore detector all built up or if anything else interesting happens in between then. So yeah, I'll see you guys back. Alright guys, so it's been a few minutes here and I have gathered all the materials I need to craft the ore detector, and I did actually have to do some back and forth, but nothing too bad. It only took, I would say, about 10 minutes to get everything. So now if we go here and now we can just weld everything up. And just like that, we have a functional ore detector. And with the high range ore detector mod that I have on at the moment, it should have a ton of range, which will also help us a ton. So if we just go to here, it has a 1.2 kilometer range on it, which is good. So with it on, oh, but wait, there's no, I don't have an antenna on here, so it's going to be kind of useless. They're not entirely useless, but yeah, you see, as soon as I get out of the pilot seat there, I can't see the magnesium anymore, which is a bit annoying. So how much is an antenna? I mean, I might build it. Oh, we can't even build it yet. Why can we not build it? Alright guys, so I figured it out. It looks like in order to build an antenna, we need to build a beacon, which looks kind of expensive to build anyway. So we're just going to hold off on the antenna for now. But now with our new ore detector here that has a 1 kilometer range on it, we can now go and explore asteroids easily. So actually, we're just going to go ahead and cruise on over to these asteroids and see if we can't find anything. Hopefully we can find something. Alright, looks like we got iron and silicone, which is actually useful. Iron and silicone is actually useful to us now since we have the basic refinery. So yeah, actually I'm gonna just go to here and investigate, see what's going on here. Because another thing I also want to add, if at all possible, is a drill. Just to make mining a little bit easier so I don't have to go back and forth with my drill. And I actually do have a bit of a plan for that. Because the way I can hook it up is I can just place a drill on the front of here and it would go and be hooked up and everything. So that would be nice and easy. We are a bit far away from the asteroid though. So if we just hop into here and just see if we can get a bit closer without... Shoot, I crashed into it. Did that do any serious damage? Doesn't look like it did any serious damage. This was already like that. I didn't have the extra 20 steel plates, and I didn't craft these all the way either, so I don't think anything got damaged. I think we just bumped into the asteroid. So that was a close call there. I gotta remember to be more careful with the respawn pod, because if this breaks off and I die, then I respawn somewhere like weird. Or I shouldn't say weird, but like far away, and then this series would be over if that were to happen. So I gotta be really careful with this respawn pod. So it looks like I'm picking up the silicone on the other side of the asteroid there. But if I just hop into here, it looks like the iron would be on the other side. So if I just go and now carefully go around the asteroid to the other side. Oh, there you go. You can see the iron. It's just like right there. Just this big pocket of iron. Turn on my lights here. There you go. That's actually really good, because then if I can get a drill on the front of that thing, I can actually really easily just get a ton of iron and then we would be set. Which is actually, I think, what I'm going to do. And I know we unlocked the drill with the landing gear. So if we just go to here, that is 180 steel plates, which would be a problem if I had to hand mine a bunch of stone, which I don't anymore. I can hand mine a bunch of iron ore, which then can be refined in the basic refinery, so I can get way more iron ingots. And I would have to do less trips back and forth. So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty solid plan actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Real quickly though, I'm just gonna make one steel plate just so I can place the drill on the front of the survival kit like this, so I can just see, like, you know, what it looks like and stuff. And it looks pretty alright. And also I shouldn't get stuck in this space anymore because the drill is here. So yeah, alright, this looks like a pretty good plan. And you know what, guys, I will see you back when I have a ton of iron up and refined. Alright guys, so I just collected a bit of iron here, so I just want to show you what I mean. So if we just go into here, right, go into the basic refinery, if we just watch here, look at how much iron we're getting out of the iron ore rather than the stone. So it shouldn't be that big a problem to make up the drill now because of this. But yeah, look at that. We already have almost 1,000 iron. So it shouldn't take too long to get, I think, 180 steel plates. What is that? That's a few thousand iron in itself. And then what else do we need for this? We need... Oh, can we even make large steel tubes actually? With the basic assembler. Yes, we can. Okay, so we can make those. So yeah, everything, we can craft everything. It's just going to take a lot of materials. So yeah, with this one little batch here, we have 1.5 thousand iron. So iron shouldn't be that big of an issue. Or silicone. We also just found silicone on the other side of the asteroid here too. So that shouldn't be a problem either. The only other ore we need to find now would be nickel. So yeah, alright. I will get back to you guys actually when I am done refining a ton of iron. Alright here guys, so I just spent the past, I would say couple minutes, like it wasn't even that long, collecting some iron. So now we have 9,000 iron ore here waiting to be refined. We already have 3,000 iron ingots here, which is pretty good. And I think as far as like crafting all the parts for the drill goes, I think the one material that's really gonna kick us in the butt is the nickel, because we don't have a lot of nickel, and I think a few of these parts require a ton of nickel. So that's gonna be a bit of a pain. Yeah, but you know what? We can cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, we can craft ourselves... What is that? Just call it an even 200 steel plates. Just like that. And what else are we're gonna need 40 construction components here too. So if we just go into here and not 100, 40, there you go. And then we're gonna need 12 large steel tubes. So just simply go like that. And then 5 motors and 5 computers. Ah, you see what I mean about the nickel? You see, I told you, the motors require nickel. So there you go, we're gonna have to collect some more stone to get ourselves some nickel. Which isn't too big a deal, all asteroids are made out of stone. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing this for the next little bit now. And also, real quickly actually, what is the power usage as of right now? It is... We've got 9 hours left. What if I were to tilt you more towards the sun? Would we get more? Yeah, it looks like it. So now instead of 9, it's 17. So yeah, we just gotta really make sure we keep both these solar panels in view of the sun. Otherwise, our batteries are gonna die out. Well, that was quick. We already have our 200 steel plates and 40 construction components here. So now if we just go to here, we can just do that. Now it looks like we have all the required stuff to craft the drill. So if we just go to here and weld it up for the next few minutes. Or at least it feels like a few minutes to me. It really, in reality, only takes a few seconds. Anyways, but just like that, we now have a drill. So now I'm going to very carefully go and try and to drill some of this stuff out. And also, real quickly, quick life hack for you guys. If you go into the G menu, like if you press G on your keyboard and go to block tools, drag drill into the hotbar, you can control the block drill like it's your hand drill that you use usually, like this drill. You can control the block drill like you do with the hand drill, which is actually really useful. I didn't find that out until, like, I would say a couple months ago, and it's been really useful to me since then. So yeah, little life hack for you guys. Anyway, but now if we just ever so carefully, if we just go into a first person view, actually it would be more useful. Just go, and now if we go and do something like that, we are now collecting iron, and a ton of it, I would think. How much iron was that? That alone was 11,000 iron. So yeah, we're gonna be collecting not a whole ton of iron. Actually, you know what? I already foresee a bit of a... Yeah, you know what? I already see a bit of a problem arising here. We don't have a lot of storage space because this is our only cargo container. And since we don't have any cobalt to craft any more cargo containers, this is pretty much all the cargo we have on the respawn pod for right now. So I gotta be very careful on how I use it. So I think that is all the iron I am going to collect. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can put some of it in the basic refinery here. There we go. And so the next thing I want to try and get is this silicone, if I can find it again. Alright, I just GPS marked that. I'm not really sure if you can see that very well. It's right there. And, ooh, yeah. I'm also noticing the ship is becoming increasingly harder to maneuver now when it's full of stuff. I'm seeing a lot of problems, or a lot of future problems for me in this series. Hopefully it's not going to be too big a problem, otherwise it's not going to be a very good time for me. Anyway, but now if we just ever so carefully just fly around the asteroid to find the best spot to go and collect the silicone. I think I found a pretty good spot to go and collect the silicone. Do I actually have to go drill for it, or is that grayish spot right there the silicone? Okay, so it looks like the silicone is right here, so I don't have to go digging for it. So that's always good. So now if I just go into the ship here and ever so carefully just go into first person mode here and ever so carefully just go and drill this up. Now we don't need a whole ton of silicone, so that should be pretty good right there. If we just go into inventory, yeah, 12,000 silicone should be enough to last us quite a while. So yeah, there you go. Now the next big thing would be nickel. That's the other one that I really want to go and get, would be nickel. But like I said earlier in the video, the main priority is ice. But actually, you know what? I think that's going to be in the next video here, guys. I am going to leave it here. And yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy this new series that I've come up with. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see where it goes. And also, the other series I have, the moon survival one, is still there. It's still going to be there. I'm still going to make videos on it. But I am going to focus on this one a little bit more. So yeah, if you guys could please let me know in the comments if there's something that I can do to improve upon this series, like if there are mods or something you want me to add to make it more exciting, or if there's something I'm doing wrong. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you guys could also please like and subscribe to the video, that would really help out my channel, and I would also appreciate it a lot if you guys would do that. And yeah, thank you for watching my video today, and have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.